welcome to the Ordinary Guys Show, everybody. And once again, we have a new, beautiful setup for you here. This is the Kevin's Head is Shiny Cam. Welcome. And today we have a new guest, by the way. His name is Mr. Jeff. I don't know if he wants his last name on the intranets.
I don't care. It's all right.
So
you can just call me Murrda.
Okay. So, first things first, I want to get a couple things out of the way. We now have an up and running website with an up and running merch store. That's what the kids say these days, right? So, we're going to switch over here, and I'm going to show you what we have to offer you, if it works. I think it's up. So, I've had some people ask, hey, how do I get to the website? Well, you get to the website with www.ordinaryguyshow.com. Then you're going to see this here. If you want to go to our merchandise store, you hit store. And then my computer is insanely slow today for some reason, but it will get there. That's going to pop it up. What's cool about the new shop we have here is you can actually select what color shirt you want. So if you want blue, you just click blue there. Prices, I believe, are slightly reasonable.
Why don't you tell the people that are only listening how to get there? That was just a thought, considering.
Only listening?
Yeah.
Well, I did. I said www.ordinaryguyshow.com. And then you hit the store button, which is in bright red at the top of the page. It'll give it away.
Is it weird that it's the first time I've been here?
How do you like it?
Not bad.
What do you think, Jeff?
I think it's all right, but I don't think that's blue. It looks fuchsia.
It does. It looks tealish.
So,
I don't know what color that is.
Anyways, that's about it as far as that's concerned. And as usual, you can hear us just about anywhere, but we prefer you to watch us at YouTube if you can. And that is www.youtube.com/C/Ordinary Guys Show. And are we back on my face?
We're back on your beautifully ugly face.
Thank you.
We're good.
With the shiny head.
Yeah, well,
It's so shiny.
I think we should start out by letting you introduce yourself more than your name. What do you do, Jeff? What do you do for fun? What are your hobbies? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food?
How often do you jerk off?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, let's start it off with my name's Jeff Murray. I do upholstery for a living. Used to be an iron worker by trade. Got hurt. Blah, blah, blah. So now I started my own upholstery company. Then ended up going from that to commercial sewing, which is another company up in Torrington, Connecticut. Came down, sought me out, hired me. So now I work full-time for them. And then, what were the other questions you asked me?
What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? And Frank wants to
Favorite
know how
color.
many times you jerk off a day.
I do want to know how many times you jerk off a day. But actually, though, were you an iron worker here? Or
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're from Connecticut?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm originally from Long Island in New York.
Say it right.
Strong Island.
There you go.
Strong Island.
Strong Island.
Well, the only reason why I asked is because I have family that's from, Yonkers area.
Oh, from up in New York.
Yeah, Yonkers.
Okay.
Bronx. And then they moved over to Connecticut. So when you said Connecticut, I was like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
He's from Strong Island, bro.
Strong Island, baby.
They smoke 3 cigarettes at once while dipping and drinking a beer.
And have a patch.
For the extra eye.
On the neck. Right on the jugular.
The jug.
That's how the women wear the birth control up there, too.
Right on the neck.
Right on the neck.
That way you know they're legit.
Yeah, that way you know they're not clean.
That's funny. All right. Well, I think everybody at home also wants to know how often you jerk off.
None. I used to do it a lot. Then I got a wife.
Oh.
So now I just make her jerk me off.
Normally, I heard that goes the other direction.
It does go the other direction.
Well, it depends on what kind of wife you have, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you're married to the inner jerker bunny.
Yeah.
That might be a thing.
Mine's like the Lego figure. Kung Fu grip.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man.
Is her hand yellow, too?
I mean, I'm sure we can put a glove on.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, this is getting bad quick. Oh, man. Hey, so busy week this week. There's a lot of crap going on in the news. Half of it I didn't even hear about. And the other half I kind of halfway heard about. Alex Trebek, apparently not going to be around much longer. I don't know if you hear about that, Kevin?
I have heard about that. Pancreatic stage 4 cancer. Actually, this was very important to my wife. She called me and told me all about it. So I don't know the stats on that. I just know it's not good, and we hope him the best.
I'm a fan. I watch Jeopardy almost every night here. It's kind of like a ritual. We turn it on, we catch Jeopardy, little Wheel of Fortune, and then it goes right into whatever bullshit show is on
I
network
personally
television.
don't watch it at all. I find it mind-numbingly boring. But I can say this. The skits that Saturday Night Live did with Alex Trebek and Sean Connery
Oh my god!
some of the funniest things.
They had
The Rapist.
but it was what the hell was that guy's name? The comedian that played. It's not. Was it Norm?
Yeah,
Norm Macdonald
Maybe
played
it
Sean
was.
Connery.
I don't know. I don't think it was Norm. I don't know.
God,
I'll look it up.
Norm is so good with that ultra dry.
Yeah.
I love Norm Macdonald, man. Dude's awesome.
He has a show on Netflix now. Do you know that?
He got canned already.
What?
I thought he got canned like his first
I see
couple
Chelsea Handler because she's a pain in the ass and annoying as can be,
No.
but
No,
man,
there was-
I like Norm.
I don't want to, especially on the show, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I felt like he either bashed gay people or black people. But on the show, it was very funny, but comedy or
Yeah.
Netflix.
It's like another Roseanne Barr.
Yeah, it was exactly because Roseanne had like just happened.
Right.
I want to say like his first or second week, and then a few weeks later,
It was like 3 episodes.
Roseanne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he had started right around the same time and said something, and I think they just pulled it preemptively to be safe.
So Will Ferrell was actually Alex Trebek.
Was
and,
he really?
Yeah, and Daryl Hammond was the one playing Sean Connery. But I just remember it was therapist was the
Yeah.
topic, and Sean Connery kept going, "Screw you, Trebek! I'm taking the rapist for 800." That part was hilarious, and he did that Sean Connery voice perfect, which
Yeah.
I'm not good at.
Hey, speaking of Sean Connery, I don't know why I started watching the old Indiana Jones again. Dude, phenomenal, right?
Not only that, do you remember MacGyver?
Oh, yes.
My mom went out and bought me the whole DVD set for this stuff.
That's freaking awesome.
We actually had a viewer during one of our live streams. We did the top TV shows of all time, and MacGyver wasn't on the list. And somebody said that it's a crime that MacGyver was not on that
That is a
top
crime.
list. Yeah, see, Jeff's right there. Maybe MacGyver is like the untold story of greatness.
Dude, he has the best hair.
He is freaking awesome. Awesome
Dude,
hair.
the
Looks
mullet-
like he's in like a rock band, right?
Yeah.
He's like just living like he's in a rock band. But then there was also a different time in television too. So a lot of like the shit that he would make, these crazy like bombs and contraptions, it was like legit how you make them. Except there was like one thing
missing.
Yeah,
he
sure.
always had duct tape in his butthole, though. Like, he'd pull duct tape out of nowhere.
Yeah, sure.
That and bubble gum.
Yeah. And a paper clip.
Yes. It was awesome.
So it was enough, dude. So Alex Trebek not doing too well. I looked it up. Stage 4 pancreatic.
I said it wrong
Pancreatic.
first. It's hard.
Pancreatic.
Pancreatic cancer.
Because
Cancer,
pancreatitis is the thing, right? So pancreatic cancer, it's like a 3% chance that he's gonna make it 5 years. It sucks. Like
He
anybody.
is older than I thought he was, because I remember my wife going, well, he's old. He had a long life at least. Like,
Yeah, he seemed pretty cool about it. I
but
don't
he's
know-
like late 70s.
Did you see his YouTube video
No.
where he basically said, well, I have to beat this thing because I have 2 more years left on my contract.
Really? That's what he said?
Yeah, he's like, look, I got 3 more years left on this
That's
Jeopardy
awesome, though.
contract. I gotta tough it out.
What pisses me off is somebody like him gets pancreatic cancer, who seems like a really good dude and's never gotten in any trouble. And then you have freaking 6ix9ine that's a god dang moron that's living just fine and healthy. Like, why can't he be smited?
Well, not only that, but think about how many
Who's
dudes are
6ix9ine?
taking it up the ass.
Look
and
him up sometime.
They're gonna live a normally happy life, and
Right.
people die of colon cancer.
I'm going to describe
Dude,
6ix9ine.
people die of all sorts of cancer.
Hey, I do want to show everybody sitting at home that I have an awesome ripcord for whenever Kevin messes something up. Technology's a gift from God, and we fucked it up.
Says the guy that always messes it up. Like, I'm in control of nothing over here. I'm sitting. The only thing I control is this mic. That's it.
That and the amount of glistening that comes off of your forehead.
There's
a
a lot
lot.
of glistening today.
Yeah, that light ain't working for me.
We'll adjust it. We'll change the light.
Look at that. I look like I'm sitting on the edge of 95
I was trying to get it all.
when they're working on it.
I was trying to get it all to look like Jeff's seat. You see Jeff's seat?
Jeff's looks good.
That was a good-looking seat.
Jeff needed that, though.
You know, I made the
Thank
mistake of putting the brown wood behind me. I've got this brown wood behind me, and I'm just as brown as the wood, so I get lost in it. I should be.
You should have Kevin over there.
Kevin should be on the other side.
You're
Yeah.
mocha.
Mochaccino.
You would contrast good with the red here in the
I
background.
feel like it would help me out a little bit.
Yeah.
And say I'm just disappeared. I'm back here.
You'd be like, do you
How did
remember
they
that
see
movie?
me?
What was it?
That was Grandma's Boy.
No, where the dude paints himself into the wall. It was like where it was a babysitter, and the parents leave, and then the dude comes in the house, and he's making phone calls from inside the house. It was like a crazy thriller when I was younger.
I feel like I know what you're talking about, but there's not enough for me to.
But then
I don't have
she
anything to pull
grows
out.
up, and then he follows her again, and then she's going to school. She has like a studio apartment, and then he literally paints himself to look like the wall. And then she goes by, and then all of a sudden his eyes open up.
What the fuck, dude? That shit was
It's
creepy.
creepy.
Hey, speaking of that, like premise though, have you seen that show on Netflix, You or something like that, or do you know what that's about?
Morgan watched it. She said she liked it. I couldn't get into it. It's a stalker story.
It's a similar concept. It's based off like the stalker who like follows this chick around. It's kind of like it makes you really weary of social media because he's like finding out all about her on social media. Like, oh, you paid with your credit card when you had cash, which meant you wanted me to know your name, which means you wanted me to find you. Like, dude,
There's weird people out like
yeah.
out, like
he just
that.
like he keeps thinking in like this downward spiral, and the next thing you know, it's like this crazy weird thriller. He's creepy as fuck, but then you feel bad for him. So weird.
I never. Either of y'all ever watched the movie A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Yeah,
Did you like it?
it wasn't
Like
bad.
the cinematography and that weird style.
Yeah.
There's a show on
Well,
Netflix.
Sin City's kind of like that, right?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I like that.
So that whole cinematography thing where it's like that darkish,
Yep.
weird, tinny look to it. Well, anyways, there's a new show called The Umbrella Academy, which
I
I'm
saw
sure
that.
you've seen, like the thing come up.
Yep.
It's the same style.
Is it a good show?
It is. I wouldn't call it good, but there's not a lot good on right now.
That's
so
true.
for right now, it's good.
You know what's weird? It's weird that we're starting to look at Netflix in that light. You know what I mean?
Right, like it's like an actual TV.
Yeah, right. Where it's like, oh, it's a slow season, and like even they probably think of shit like that too,
Yeah.
right? You know, like they've probably got some good content lined up, and instead of
Punisher.
just drop Punisher's damn good show.
Oh, it's awesome. It's the best show.
Yeah, that season 2 came out recently too. And yes, I have watched most of it. You ever get like where you just get tired of one and you just switch to another midstream?
Yeah, but you want to go back, but you kind of forget about it after you switch. I don't know if that ever
I'm
happens.
up on Walking Dead though.
So Walking Dead, we're like 2 episodes behind. So that's another thing that just started.
I never got into that show.
You will if you stick. Well, season 1 was good.
Season one was good, but you have to get, and I'm not trying to spoil anything, I think you have to get to the prison, right?
The prison drug out for me.
No, but I mean, don't you have to like get to it? You know, because there's a little bit of.
Spoiler alert: Shane dies. That's when the show took a downturn for me because there are so many situations where I'm like, Shane would have just shot that guy.
Shane was a bad motherfucker.
Like-
So you don't even know the show. So Shane is like the badass of the group, right? He'll take anything on. He's like real firm. Used to be a police
But
officer.
he
and
also
whatnot.
banged his partner.
Okay,
and
you
best
don't have to
friend's
tell him the whole
wife.
fucking story.
He's 8 years behind. I'm not spoiling anything for anybody.
That's very true.
And
Yeah.
even if you did tell me the whole thing and I watched it, I'd be like, oh my god, this is brand new again.
Yeah, Jeff can watch the same movie every night and forget that he watched it the night before.
Oh, so he's like 50 First Dates.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he defragments things that aren't needed.
It's basically, it just comes in and goes right out.
Yeah, he's got
You
like
know?
a 35 gigabyte, like an 8 max gig hard drive, like the 80s.
Yeah.
And he's just got to parse it. Got to keep it fresh.
I just keep defragging it, just moving stuff around.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'm like, ooh, that was
Making
a good
sure
one.
the important stuff like work, it
Clear it
stays
up.
here. Got to clean this out.
Clearing up disk space.
Yeah. The
But-
video games are very important. They have like a gold section up in the right
It's just
top
one game.
corner.
It's one
Yeah.
game. That's it.
What game?
I play Guns of Glory.
What's Guns of Glory? Is there
It's
Guns of Glory?
awful. He downloaded. Listen, I like all video games, right? I mean, I play Fortnite, for God's sakes, with kids. That game...
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Start calling you MJ.
Very creepy.
Have we even talked about MJ yet? Or
Not
was
yet,
that
but I figured that was a
pre-show?
good time to bring it up.
That is a damn good time to bring it up.
Yeah.
All right,
Creepy kids, video games, and MJ.
let's see. Have you seen the documentary?
No, I have
Okay.
not yet.
None of us have.
No, you haven't. I haven't seen the documentary. The reason why I say that, I want to make it clear, is because I want everybody to know we haven't seen the documentary. So, with that being said, I've been reading a lot of shit online about this documentary, including, did you see anything about it as far as like on the news?
I've just heard a little on talk shows.
I know they've had a couple of I think they had the guys on the news, or they were able to show clips from HBO. Okay, that's a big reason why I haven't seen the show. It's on HBO. I don't pay for premium cable personally. Not a fan of doing it, but people are saying it could be a money grab by the boys, which makes sense.
They're getting sued for, I think, $100 million or something.
They are
HBO is by the Jackson estate.
by the You're right. I did hear that. So there's a lot going on. They fought to not have it aired. They threatened with suing after the fact. So, which leads me to want to say, what was your thought of Michael Jackson before hearing any of this? I mean,
We'll let
either
you
of
go
you.
first there, Jeffrey.
Me, I definitely, I mean, the guy's a superstar, stuff like that. I mean, you do hear things where they're trying to always get, sorry, I'm not trying to pull a Tyler
that's
Bledsoe, where, where they, you know, always trying to get somebody to hush up or so to try to get money off of him or this or that. But me, truthfully, I think he's guilty.
My synopsis is where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's a lot of smoke, there's definitely a lot of fire. There has been way too much smoke. There's Bill Cosby smoke up in here. Times 5 that this guy did it. And he kind of proves that if you have a lot of money that you can get off the hook. And I can tell you right now, the guys, right, that are doing this are the original ones that, and this is what I've heard, I haven't seen it yet, are the original ones that said that he did not do it. And their stories ring true in the fact that the one I know had children. And that brings a lot of memories back, right?
sure.
And then you think, how could my parents have done this and let me? They were staying there months on end. Who lets their children stay at a full-grown adult that's not family's house for months on end that has no kids? Like, this is very odd,
Yeah.
like, all around. So there's way too much smoke.
There
Let's
was
put it that way.
never a superstar like Michael Jackson, though. I'm
No,
not giving
greatest
anybody
showman on
passes for anything, right?
No,
But
the guy was unbelievable.
unbelievable, and the only one up until that point for that sort of like overwhelming popularity. I'm not coming up with excuses, but I can see where some parents, and again, I don't mean parents, I mean people that have kids, would just get so caught up in that magnet and think, like, oh my God, if my kid is like one of like 5 kids that Michael Jackson likes, like we could be set for life. You get what I'm trying to say? And I'm not saying it, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be like, you're not whoring out your kid, but you don't think that's going on, right? You want to think, dude, today, I think a lot of the reason why we act the way we do as parents are because of Michael Jackson's. You get what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah, like you're saying, like what I'm getting out of it is there's some people that are going to turn around and be like, oh, you know, if I have my kid stay with him, you know, we might, you know, my kid might turn into something, you know,
yeah,
somebody
what if he's
might
making
get
promises? What if he's like, your kid will always be a dancer as long as I'm
right,
alive,
you know, I'll have
you know?
him as a backup dancer, blah blah blah, this, that, the other thing. I mean, you never know, and you're hoping that could be the break for your kid.
Sure. Like if a famous artist came to me, like especially one that my daughter liked, right, and was just like, hey, you know, they asked me to be a dancer. I've got a young daughter. I'm not going to let my young daughter go away. But if this person was legit and was like, oh, no, we'll teach your daughter to dance, you're more than welcome to come to the studio. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, your daughter's never going to be alone. I just think your daughter's got potential. Different story. This dude was like, let your kid fucking stay with me.
Right. That's where you would draw the line.
No, okay. Sleep in bed with me. Like, that's, like, that was legit. Like, that was a
You'd
thing.
be getting stabbed. Like, I
Right.
would be coming at you ready. You
right.
know?
It's so fucking weird. So, knowing that everybody, you know, we all kind of felt like, you know, there was some smoke and fire with Michael. Having them actually come out and say it kind of made me feel weird. You feel bad. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck, I kind of knew. kind of knew, but like everybody else, I was like, I don't know, whatever.
What gave it away?
What do you mean?
I mean, what could have gave that away? The fact that he tried to look exactly like his sister, talk like
No, so I think it came out
grab
that
his
he was
crotch every 3
No,
seconds.
I think it came out. You know that he was chemically castrated, right?
No, and I don't believe that.
No, it came out. I'd have to look it up. I don't feel like looking shit up right now, but I'd have to look it up. But I want to say that he was chemically castrated when he was young, so that he would not go through puberty and he would keep that voice.
Oh, give me one more chance. I still got it.
No. But you get what I'm saying, though?
Hold on, that just completely like killed my whole.
You liked it.
No, Jack. Dude. Apparently, this guy was really fucked up by his family because they saw what was happening.
He named his kid Blanket. He also held Blanket over a ledge from a second story to show the paparazzi his child and could have dropped him and killed him. This man is crazy.
Right, but what they're trying to say is, yeah, he fucked up and he is a fucked up person, but they were saying that a lot of it probably had to do with something like literally getting castrated as a fucking kid and being stuck as like a child. So could you imagine in a world where he actually wasn't a fucking pedophile? Imagine he was not a pedophile.
And just imagine the stuff that happened to him as a child.
To be fucking stuck as a kid, it's fucking weird. But he probably was a pedophile who was also just really fucked up from his parents.
Yeah, but 90% of all of those cases, that stuff was done to him for him to want to,
yeah.
That's kind of how that stuff goes unless people break that cycle.
Apparently he taught these kids how to jerk off, but then a lot of things that they were saying with that was part of him not having that kind of a life. You know what I mean? So he was trying to give them everything he missed out on, but forcing the birds and the bees talk with 2 kids that aren't yours is fucking weird, man.
So have you ever heard how he got his money?
Straight weird.
His money, besides being Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Buying the royalties on songs and shit like that?
On the Beatles.
Yeah, he bought the fucking Beatles.
But do you hear how that came about?
No.
Hold on. Michael
He's
Jackson
friends with
bought
McCartney.
McCartney recommended it to him, right?
Yeah, but he didn't recommend him to buy the Beatles. I mean, that's how crazy this guy is they were having a conversation. It'd be like, you going, hey, Kevin, how can I make more money? Be like, oh, well, you should buy some music, man. But then you're so crazy, you go and buy all my music because we had that conversation. He bought the original album of the Beatles. So every time the Beatles would play, he would get a cut. So not only was he getting... Him and the Beatles are probably the most played 2 artists of all time, maybe other than maybe Elvis.
Yeah.
Wait, do you know that he is the sole reason why restaurants have their own version of Happy Birthday? He bought the rights to Happy Birthday. So that's why you would go there and they would be like, oh, the Carrabba's one's funny where they sing it in Italian or whatever.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? So, think about when the last time you actually heard the actual legit Happy Birthday song at a restaurant. I'm telling you.
Never.
He bought the rights to it.
It's kind of like...
Now that you say that, it's truthfully, I've never heard just the normal Happy Birthday.
Yeah, it's their own version of whatever,
It's kind of like the Ooper Bowl.
But I think it's fucking nuts that, that he had money and felt like it was a good investment. He was friends with McCartney, and I don't know how the conversation happened, but I think it was suggested, buy some royalties or buy some rights.
But that's how people get so crazy. Like, you're talking about that starstruck stuff.
Yeah.
I remember when I was going, it must have been 3rd grade, something like that. My teacher was telling me how when the Beatles were at a hotel in Key Largo, that after the Beatles left, the owners of this place drained the pool and took all of the water and stuck it in bottles and sold it as the Beatles swam in this water.
God damn it.
That brings a whole new meaning to drink your dirty bathwater.
It's fucking weird.
Oh my
But
Lord.
think about that. Now people are just sitting here. You don't know if that was the actual water that they swam in, and who cared? It's not what you're going to get a piece of DNA out of it. Here's a skin follicle.
I'm so business oriented. I look at that and I think of 2 things. You got the business owners that own that hotel that are like, we really fucked up. We know he's never coming back. We didn't give this dude fresh towels. You get what I'm trying to say? They're like he's never coming back. We're never going to do business again.
His water.
We got to fucking do something. We got to make some money. Or you could have or he could have had a great time and you fucked it up. You could have been his vacation destination. Now you fucked it all up.
But it's a great money scheme because people bought this water.
Bro, how many people you think?
Yeah, Catholics have been doing it for years.
How many people? Dude,
Yeah.
that holy water, my
Lift
God.
up your hearts. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, we do. We got 2 Catholics here.
So, and
Catholic?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Me too. Hated it.
Yeah.
I've never heard a good response ever.
So mad. Yeah, we had in a whole episode where I went off on the church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
He's been
Catholics
excommunicated.
force you to be Catholics.
I
I
know.
can remember my mom chasing me down the road as I'm riding my bike as fast as possible, like I'm going to get further away from her while she's in her car. You know, you're going to school over. You know, I hated it.
How'd that work out for you?
Literally, I stuck it all the way out, did my confirmation, and then never went back after.
Yeah. That's a lot of people do that. To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't think I did my confirmation. I don't remember. It
Yeah, I
was
know,
like,
it's years and years ago.
it was in the middle of like my family moving down here from up there. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like there's shit I think I was told I did, but I didn't even do, and that was just my mom checking the boxes.
So do you have your second middle name?
No.
So you get that.
You get your second middle name, like your church name.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Jeff's
Slave
is
name.
Lucifer.
No, mine's Timothy, just because it went good with my name. So
Oh, God.
That does make that's
Jeffrey,
close.
Brian, Timothy, Murray. Boom, done.
I got
Wow.
Your dad was in there. He's like, I got an idea.
We're gonna do it, Larry.
We're going to do it Timothy. Because it ends like Larry.
So, real quick to wrap up this ties in, we're gonna wrap up the Jackson thing. I think I showed you guys earlier, but Kyle Dunnigan on Instagram, he posted. For people who know Kyle Dunnigan, he does the like face overs. He has a face changer and he talks in the voice. I showed you guys before, so you guys know what I'm
Yes.
talking about. But he did a Michael Jackson one. I tried to find it. It looks like it may have been pulled from the internet. I'm not quite sure. If it did, that's an absolute shame. It was one of the funniest things I think I've ever seen. But with that being said, you guys gotta check him out. That shit was hilarious. So, all right, what are we doing now?
So,
Talking about poofing.
Oh yeah, we had to talk about poofing. That came up too. This shit is ridiculous.
and then I think we should end on Jeff's life. Because that could be a thing.
That's gonna be like 10 stories, bro.
That's fine.
All right, we'll pick the best ones and go. What the fuck is poofing, man?
So this is for my buddy that wanted me to talk about this. So we were at a bar. I used to be in a motorcycle club, and we were at a bar in Fernandina, and the bartenders were talking about poofing. And then,
Okay, I have a question. I'll hold it.
go ahead,
No,
bring
no.
it on.
You were there when the bartenders were talking about it?
Yes.
Okay, so were they talking about it as something that they've done, or
Yes,
were they,
they
like
were-
talking about it's a thing?
No, they were talking about this amongst them two.
Jesus fuck.
And then my buddy was like, dude, you have to hear what just happened. And then called me over to him for them to tell me this story
Oh my god.
about how the younger kids these days are filling McDonald's straws up with cocaine and having their partner blow it up their ass. And it's called poofing.
All right. I need people on whatever platform. Honestly, I need to know if you knew about this. I don't want to do poll because
But
this is going
here's-
to air later, but
I heard about the tampon thing, but not this.
I need to know if people have heard about this.
But here's the kicker. So she was explaining how it was the first time that they did this. They have done it more times after. Like now this is a new thing that they do. But the first time, she didn't know when to stop blowing to clear the straw.
Oh.
So when she pulled the straw out, he gassed off and blew it all back
Shut
in her
the-
face.
And then she went,
She turned into powder.
What in the fuck?
Yeah, and this is two people talking about this as they're serving drinks.
why can't people do drugs the old-fashioned way? Like the tampon thing where they soak it in vodka or whatever and put it in their buttholes in school. Kids do that so they can get drunk.
Okay, so this leads me to the conversation we had earlier about apparently you can get really fucked up by putting shit up your ass, right? Like,
Yes.
Way more fucked up.
Because it
than
goes
normal.
right into your bloodstream.
So,
Plus, you
Weird.
don't get sick from it.
is that true? Like, because the stomach, like, you don't get anything coming back up.
Yeah,
Or
plus
you
it
just
saves
shit
your
pants.
nose. You know, like even ravers, like that's where they stick their ecstasy.
Get the fuck out. I'm learning a lot, man.
Yeah,
I gotta
Oh,
look
Jeff
into
can
why.
tell you stories.
I gotta look into
tell
why.
you stories for
about-
days.
So there's that movie we were talking about. The movie with Kevin. What was that movie?
I don't remember now, but when I think ecstasy, all I can think is nice fish, big effing eyes, nice fish. Bad Boys 2. When he's just out of his mind.
Oh
on
Jesus!
ecstasy.
Yes, I remember that. I forgot all about
He's
that.
looking at that fish tank fish. That goldfish.
Yeah, yeah. No, the movie was Blockers.
Yes.
Yes.
With John
Butt
Cena.
chug.
So yeah, they did the butt chug, which cracked me up because I remember hearing about this before the movie. I remember hearing like it was a thing, and I remember laughing. And then the question was like, "Can you really get fucked up that way?" I didn't try it, but then all of a sudden it comes out in the movie, and it cracked me up.
You need to get somebody else who's like another. You know what do you
Get
call
on
me?
the mic, Tyler.
I mean, you need to get somebody as somebody else to come in here is like
Who has experience butt chugging?
yeah, and like have them do it on the table. Like
Oh man, as long as it's not, as long as it doesn't also mean like okay, so it's like a 2-in-1. I'm like, yeah, I'm a butt chugger / doucher because every time it happens, you douche your butthole out. I don't want anybody douching their butthole out on the table.
well, I mean,
We're going to have to definitely put plastic down.
Something, throwaway plastic even.
I'm
know
also
what?
not coming
you
to the episode. Don't look at
I'm
me.
saying,
So nasty.
you
gonna come in
totally
the
that
funnel?
was that was kind of. Was that like extra for the chug? Like, if you can do this and that at the same time?
You can,
I knew I was stepping into a firestorm putting him next to me tonight. I knew it. If there's anybody that can get me, it's going to be him. It'll never be you, but Jeff can get me.
that's awesome.
Oh, I will too, constantly.
He knows the weaknesses.
And I know what to say
Yeah.
and how to touch him.
So fucking-
Now it's just getting provocative.
Yep, now it's weird.
Yep.
I'm gonna kill the cameras real quick.
Last week it was you and Tony over there holding hands, and now
So, dude,
other side.
do you know Steve Lester?
Yes.
All right.
We're going to have to bleep his name out.
Steve's awesome. But at any rate, so it's me, Steve, and this guy, and we're out doing a booth job down in Viero?
Viero.
Yeah, Viero.
Viero.
That's a story in itself. I'll tell that after.
Yeah. And so
It was Vero.
Viero, yeah, whatever.
He still doesn't know there's a city called Vero, by the way.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's Viero.
Yeah,
Viero.
Vero. Say it with me. Vero.
Viero.
Yes.
Yeah, Viero. So at any rate, we're all sitting there, and Kevin's like, bro, look. So we all turn our heads because we were sitting outside as everybody's coming in and out of the door to
That
this
wasn't Vero.
Costco.
That was Boca.
Oh,
Yeah, I know what
Okay.
you're talking about now.
so all of a sudden he's like, bro, it looks like the WB frog is pulling up his pants, and literally, this guy was walking and was as flat from the top to the bottom, nothing, and literally
It looked
resembles.
like a frog stood up and put pants on. But then Jeff's like, thinks I'm talking about, because I said, look at that. And like I point, right? And right next to it, I guess, Jeff sees some woman, and him and Steve are like, she's so hot. I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm like, it's the dude that looks like a frog that stood up and put pants on.
But you see where I'm going with this,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
just another way of me getting you. That was
So
all.
Viero, I called Jeff, and I say, Jeff, we got a booth to do down south. We're going to Viero to do the booth. Now, for people that don't know, it's about an hour and 10 minutes from the house. So Jeff gets in the car. We pass Viera, right? And he goes, where you going, bro? Because this is how Jeff talks. Where you going, bro? And I said, I'm going to Vero. He goes, we just passed Viero. And I go, did you just make a city out of two cities? And he's like, what? He has no idea. I'm like, what do you think that city's called? He goes, Viero. I go, no, that's Viera. And he goes, right, Viero. I go, no, Viera. I said, we're going to Viero. And he's like, what's the difference, bro? I'm like, an hour. So he has to call and let them know he's going to be home 2 hours later than expected because he thought he was going to Viera, quote, Viero. And this has happened multiple times. like he came over one day and was talking to me and Morgan, and he was talking about he had to move some dressers. But
No.
here's what he said.
Dresses.
Yeah.
Dresses.
Dresses.
And me and Morgan are looking at him. He's like, yeah, I had to move this heavy-ass dresses today. And we're like, what? And he's like, yeah, dresses. We're like, how are dresses heavy? And he's like, dresses. And we're like, yeah, you're saying dresses. He's like, no, dresses. We're like, spell it, Jeff. So he spells it and it's dressers. He can't say dressers. Like, there's a lot of words like that. Say dressers.
Dresses.
Dresses. And this crap happens all the time. And then, so Viero dresses. You never know what the hell he's talking about. And then it ends in good conversation.
That's what happens when you're from New York and then you move down here. And now I've moved to, I've probably been in like 6 states. So I pick up things from everywhere you kind of go. You know?
Everything he can find that's retarded, he picks it up.
And it sticks.
Yeah. Intentionally.
Awesome. Yes. It's
That's
perfect.
Fuck. Poofing. Or did we wrap up poofing?
We wrapped up poofing.
We know what it is.
Then we started talking about butt chugging and that new flick with Cena.
Oh, yeah.
Blockers.
Yeah.
Good movie. Go watch it.
Yeah,
by
it's a
the
good
way.
one. Is it out on Netflix? I don't remember seeing it on Netflix, but I remember, I think we even own it. Like
It was on the Redbox.
It's Redbox. We saw it.
Redbox.
We saw it somewhere.
You use Redbox? I wonder who uses those. You use Redbox?
Dude, I do everything. If I see something, I'm compulsive about everything.
He's the guy that they put the old stale candy in the front so it'll get bought. Jeff buys it.
Yeah, if it's in front of me, I'm like, oh my God, look at this. The expiration date was 6 years ago. But this Slim Jim looks great and I'm eating it.
And it's
You're-
39 cents, so.
You remember the
12.
Skittles?
Yeah.
You remember the Skittles we had?
Yeah.
Like about a month ago?
Yeah.
I was like, man, I got a bunch of Skittles. My neighbor must have given to us for Halloween or something, and I threw them all on the table. And they were like, hey, they expired in like December or some shit like that. I was like,
Frank ate 3 family-sized boxes of
what?
Skittles.
but they were sticky. They weren't like, you grab a Skittle, like it's fine until you like fucking
Hold
mushed
it
it
in
with
your
your
hand, yeah.
hand or something, right? But you're like having to like peel them off with the other ones. They're fucking good though.
That's like the best time to eat them, though.
They're fucking delicious. They're
They're
the
still
sour
already
ones.
like decomposing.
Yeah, they were the sour ones too. So it was just like a big sour sticky. But I'm about to. I think I still have 2 boxes. I might go get a couple.
Bust them puppies out.
Sour Skittles?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
How much time do we have?
I don't know. What time is it?
We got 30 minutes.
I think that would be the perfect amount of time for the next segment.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do we got here?
I can lead him into it if you want to go get the Skittles.
Yeah, you do that.
All right. So, while Frank goes and gets Skittles, because that is very important to this show, Jeffrey,
Yo.
as we know, we're going to get very personal right now. In your personal life, things I'd say in the last, well, probably more than 3 years, but in this specific event has been about 3 years, right? That you've been dealing with a crisis, so to speak.
Since February 9th of 2015.
And by the way, disclaimer, the names have been changed to protect the innocent. And also, we may be making this whole story up. So we're just going to stick with this as fiction and we're going to roll with it.
Perfect.
So anyways, now that we got that covered, so I'll kind of lead into it. So Jeff has a beautiful family, and one of those family members, he, like a lot of other men, is stuck in a custody battle. And it seems as if the court system has gotten a little fairer in the fact that men don't get totally screwed. But
By the way, we got the Skittles. I just
Yeah,
wanted
Skittles
to put that
are
out there.
Hold on. Yeah.
Yeah. Boom.
and I'm not eating them. Kevto doesn't allow it.
Hey, just what's the expiration date say on those things?
Hold on 1 second.
I think your mic's still off.
Oh, these are 2019, bro.
Oh, those are good.
How do these things keep reappearing? How many of these do you buy?
1919.
1990. Those must be new ones then.
Yeah.
We don't buy them.
These are January 25th of 19, but
Oh, this is Nathaniel's?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so Jeff, like a lot of other fathers, have made some decisions that have led to a court battle with a daughter that, is very much cared for. So you do whatever you can to make sure they're cared for properly. And in that case, Jeff, there's 2 of them. For those of you listening, that's not just Frank this time. That's Jeff too.
so good.
So anyways, I'm going to let him tell a little bit about how it started. I'm going to kind of guide him around the story I feel like needs to be told. He's not going to use any names.
No.
But let's start out with day number 1 when he called me on the phone and we went down this wonderful journey. That has not ended. Still, totally.
So basically, like any relationship, either they're good or you're splitting up.
No, yours was a whole nother level of splitting up. Yours was hell with brimstone and fire.
I mean, let's just be serious here. Mine was crap before I even met her. So, at any rate.
Before it even started.
Shit was over before it started.
It really was. I mean, then, I guess you can call me a chick or whatever when it comes to certain things, and then you have family members that are like, you have a child with this person, you need to stick it out, you need to be there, and which is perfectly understandable. A child should have a mother and father when they're growing up. But when the other person is Kevin goes for the nuts out of all of these goodies.
You guys are eating Skittles. I'm eating almonds.
Always nuts.
Kevto 2.0.
So, where did I leave off? Because now you got me all flustered with
You guys are broken up in this story already.
Okay. So then, you try to stick it out, and it just makes things worse. Like, if you know it's bad, just get out sooner than later.
I do have to give Jeff this. Most people go, I'm breaking up with her, I'm done, and then they don't. And they just say that like 700 times. Jeff said it one time, and it was over.
Uh-huh.
There was no coming back from that train.
Yeah.
Well, dude, there's probably some of our audience. I know some of our audience that listens and they're like, "Well, that's crazy," because most of us have stuck through some shit relationships in the past. Like, how do you just cut it?
I mean, it's kind of like quitting anything, or if you were smoking cigarettes and you're like, I'm done. Like, there just comes a point where you're just done. And literally all of this stuff was going on. There was other things that were happening, and then I'm hearing more stuff. But just for me, it was like, I don't want to be that type of person that gets into a relationship, the relationship sucks, and then this becomes my life. So I literally sat back and I'm like, to be better, not only for me, and my sanity, but when you're sitting there arguing and fighting and doing things that you shouldn't be doing in front of, how I see it as innocent kids, it's like you just either you're not going to do it anymore or you just got to friggin' go, and that's basically what happened. And it was basically, we just bucked, And
it was abrupt, too. Because he calls me and he goes, hey, me and my other named friend are over here. We're moving my stuff out. Will you come over and help real quick? I show up. Larry's there. Our other unnamed friend, because I don't think he wants to be a part of this. We're getting all the stuff.
Are you fucking spectacular or what?
Dude, these things are amazing. I just want to throw them at Kevin.
She shows up.
Because he can't have any sweets.
And is
he's on a
pulling
diet.
things. She's pulling things off the trailer while just pulling things on the trailer.
Now, I'm loading my trailer of my stuff, and then she's going back in there taking the stuff out.
Yeah.
Dude. So that's freaking crazy. But, so Kevin said, it was a quick decision? Or, you had to have been thinking about it?
Oh, no.
But then pulling the trigger.
He was thinking about it, but he never said he was pulling the trigger. But I was very surprised because, like I say, most people say, I'm done, man, I hate her, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day they're hugged up
and
on
they
him.
end up having sex or something like
Yeah.
that. And then you're like, shit's
there
not
was
as bad.
none of that.
You know what cracks me up? And this is why I freaking hate people on Facebook. Because of the simple fact is, you talk to your buddies or, even your wives, friends, they're talking, and, you hear that one conversation, because normally your wife always tells you everything, and you go back and say the same stuff that me and you boys are talking about to your wife or whatever. And it's like, oh, yeah, they're having us, these bad problems, this, that, and the other thing. 15 minutes later, it's like, ba-ding! I love him. He's the best person in my life. And then it's the same thing for the dude, And I'm like, did you just hear the
I hate
crap
the
he talked
overly
about?
lovey people on Facebook. There's nothing, aside from the joint account, the overly loving talking about, ooh, I love you every day drives me.
Kevin, if you told me that every day, I would be all yours.
Well, you'd have to get on Facebook, but I will start tomorrow.
All right, I want to hear ooh-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
Yep.
I want a video for
Every
it.
day.
Every day.
That'll be Kevin's thought of the day.
So the joint account, super in love or super distrust?
There's a couple types, because I know a couple that is a joint account, and it is only because the other person doesn't care about it at all, and that person's family wants to be involved in their family. So in that case, there's nothing weird going on. But in other cases, I think, who cheated? Right? Mm-hmm. But there's very few cases where I don't think it's weird. Like, it's 90% weird.
The other thing, too, is like, I'm looking at the joint account and doing that stuff now with my wife.
His is definitely weird. Because he does weird stuff all the time. Only to himself, of course, but...
But, like, my wife will sit there and she's like, look at this crap. And then all of a sudden it's like, obviously you can tell me and my wife are married. It says it right there. And then she's getting dick pics and, oh my God, I've been thinking about you. Can you post more pictures? And this is the crap that, dude, like...
If Morgan's getting that, I don't know about it. She gets a lot of random dude friend requests.
Is this the same chick or different girl?
Different.
Yeah,
he's
this
married
is my
now.
wife now, yeah.
Oh, okay. So
he was never married before.
This wasn't something that was going on before.
No, he's happily married now.
Yeah, we kind of like veered off.
Yeah. Let's put a bow on that thing real quick, because I want to hear the rest of that story.
So, it was just a crap, situation. So we basically split up, and then, how a lot of things. What are you doing?
I'm getting a drink and I gotta pee. It's my menstrual ritual.
Dude, put some Skittles in there. So
We'll put one in there when you go to the bathroom.
yeah. So basically, I'm pretty sure the stuff that Kevin wants to talk about is like the things that happen and how it kind of kills guys per se. Because as soon as you go in there, I got looked at like I was the worst.
When you went in where?
When I was going to court and everything.
Oh, yeah. So you're in a courtroom, and there's you, her, I'm assuming. I don't know. I've never been in a courtroom in that capacity.
Yeah, the only two people that are in there is just you and her. That's it.
And an attorney, I'm assuming, if you have one.
Yeah, your attorneys, yeah.
All right.
But it's like you automatically get looked at as like being the bad guy.
Because you're the guy, I think, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you're the asshole. For some reason, you fucked up. Especially if there's kids, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you fucked up or whatever. Because rarely, I'm telling you, I think is it the guy that it is like the completely innocent initiator of the divorce. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like, especially with kids involved, I feel like most guys that are already in a committed relationship would tough it out.
You see, and that's the thing. It's like, we broke up. I went down. I was the one that started the whole divorce.
Right.
Like, I started everything. And then she left and moved to another county. With that being said, then I had my daughter at the time. Like, I wouldn't let her leave the county with my daughter, which I have all the rights to do that, It's my kid. But because I started the process, she technically should have never left the county. Now she's held in contempt of court for that.
Interesting.
But because she's a female, they wash that away. It doesn't matter. So a month goes by that I've had my daughter up here. She goes to Broward County, a completely unrelated county.
So for those who don't know where we are, it's Broward's like a 2-hour, 45-minute drive south.
Yeah, that's probably the start of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she didn't live in Broward either.
Right.
At the time, she was living in Palm Beach County.
So this is where it gets crazy. So this all comes out in court too, by the way, after the fact. But she gets a.
As in, you had no clue.
I had no clue
And
this
it
was
comes
coming
out that this, like, in court, it comes out that she was there. All
right. So
Yeah, well, Jeff was just trying to make it, like, just to preface this, if one parent decides, right, if you have a child together, and one parent decides, I'm going to get up and move in the middle of the night, and I'm going to go to another city, right? It's not in the best interest of the child to go to that city because that child already has friends here, has a home here, has never lived in that other area, has daycare, everything else established. Like, the main thing with kids is to keep things copacetic and normal, right? Mm-hmm. So the last thing you would think that the court system would allow is for somebody to leave like a thief in the night with a child. And I preface that with what he was going to say.
So the attorney that she hires at the time tells her it's in her best interest to get, the daughter back, basically to get her back. She makes up a fake ID. Okay, now this is straight legit. This is all comes out. Makes up a fake ID. Says she lives in Hannondale Beach, like a $400,000, apartment, place. Which is no way, I mean,
Right.
She couldn't afford $400, let alone, but to live in this place. Then states that I stole the kid from that address, drove her back here to Titusville, that I'm not the father, and that I beat the kids.
Jesus Christ.
And on top of that, this is all testified. This is like, you can probably look some of the stuff up, but everything
These are all
she said.
fictitious characters in the story we're making up as we speak.
Correct. And then on top of that, I have guns and all of this stuff, and I'm crazy. So, Palm Beach County, not Palm Beach, Broward County sends a sheriff from there with her, drives up here, knock on my door, now meeting Titusville. So, my house that I was living at was literally covered with police officers. At like 9:30 at night, knock on the door to go in there. I won't let them in the house. They show me the ticket, well, not the ticket, but the document, basically, that they are allowed to take the child out of the house beyond any means necessary.
Due to the fact she said he wasn't the father. Because now he has no rights.
Right. So then I go over there and I'm like, listen, dude, I'll take her outside. I'm not going to be like that. I don't want you waking her up at 9:30 at night, seeing some strange man, coming in there. So they allowed me to pick her up, take her out. She comes into the driveway, hand her off. Didn't see my kid for like, I don't know, it was like 3 or 4 months after that. Then finally go back to court. Then we get on a 50-50, basically like a 50-50 time. So it was every other week, we go. So we have to drive all the way down to West Palm, pick her up, drive all the way back. Then she's got to drive all the way up to here to pick her up, to drive all the way back. Most ridiculous thing in the world.
Yeah.
Because your whole day is shot, driving.
Yeah, my childhood was a lot like that too. Sundays and Wednesdays were toast because that's wasting the day,
Right.
getting to parents' house. Sucked.
So then on top of that, she allegedly, trying not to make it bad.
Oh, this might be my favorite part of the story.
So basically, we leave each other. I have a shop, as I was saying earlier, and she had keys to the shop. She had a bunch of other stuff. So
Let me preface one more time. She has not been working during any of this. They are not married. He had tried to get her to work because ends weren't meeting at the time. She refused to work. Like, refused. This wasn't a situation where a husband has a stay-at-home wife and everything's copacetic and she does deserve, a part of anything. This is nothing like that. This is a battle to try to get her to do something for the family. And the most he could ever get out of her was a delicious dinner of hot dogs, macaroni, and cheese. That is the truth. That was a big dinner night. I'm not joking.
Yeah, no. I mean, literally, that was a whole huge thing.
Yeah. So,
That,
because a lot of people will listen to this and go, he's just being rude. She was probably taking care of the kids. No, she wasn't.
no, and literally, it was so
Most of our
bad.
audience is dudes, so
Yeah. Well, we may have some people that are feminists. You never know.
But I mean, like, legitimately, this is the true story. I mean, it's not like I'm adding stuff to make it sound better. Or
right.
anything.
This is something that went through the court system.
Right. And on top of that, like how Kevin was saying how bad this is, she wouldn't even clean the house. She had her friends come over and clean the house.
And the kids weren't there during the day. They were at daycare.
I put them in daycare. So there was absolutely nothing in her way to do or not to do.
What in the fuck?
Literally, that's how bad this was. I probably spent, in a month, probably almost $1,000 in cigarettes and beer.
And Red Bulls.
Legitimately. Monster.
Yeah, Monster.
So, this is where it starts to get... So, we just had that whole thing that comes out in court when I got to 50-50, that everything that she filed down at Broward County was a complete bold-faced lie. Complete 100%.
So that all got like expunged, or you know what I mean?
Eventually.
Like
It held up for a while.
So, then on top of that, she ends up taking...
was that me?
Well, you just got a new fan?
Was that you?
No.
Wasn't me. That was you.
Don't knock him off subject. I'm in this story. I'm in deep.
No, go for it.
So, basically, I get a tax return. The day I get my tax return, somebody signs my name to a check, which you can completely tell it's not my handwriting, for $4,000, puts it into the bank at 11:58 at night, knowing that if she gets it in now, it's going to go directly into her account the following morning. So, if this doesn't sound like the biggest setup, and then puts the money in, goes through, gets everything, I call the cops, call the bank comes with the police. I get the video of her putting the stuff in through the ATM, the forged check, $4,000, which is grand theft, everything. They put all of the stuff together. They send it into the state. The state turns around and tells me, we're not going to prosecute because we see that you have a open custody case going, and it would be a slam dunk, and we're not going to allow it. So that gets thrown out.
Oh, so it would make the custody case
Very easy for me.
So they didn't want to make it easy for you.
Right.
Well, that's
They were trying to stay out of it. I get their point, but it's not right. A crime's a crime.
It should be two separate events.
Yeah.
Correct. And I mean, so essentially what I said was, well, if the circumstances were changed, would it be the same outcome?
No. I'm telling you, I don't even know, but I'm telling you it's no.
Right.
It has to be.
If I did that,
Because you're the
to her,
shithead, scumbag, dirtbag guy
right,
that...
deadbeat dad.
Deadbeat. You know, why is it that... No, in all honesty, people can chime in. Why is it that the guy, like... It's like got to be like a 90-10 ratio that the guy is the deadbeat, right? I never even hear them use that term for a chick. Deadbeat, right? I rarely hear that
or
term
with a sperm donor.
Yeah.
Well, in all fairness, I'd say a lot of the time that's true.
I understand, but...
Yeah, but that's what he's asking. Why?
Yeah,
Well,
like...
Why is that true?
Because guys aren't maternal. So if you have a child and you're a woman, you have a maternal instinct to take care of that child. For the most part, I'd say 90%.
By the way, purples are the bomb.
Oh, the purples are the shit. I do a whole bag
It's just...
gone.
Here's a better question that'll answer your question. If you hear about a dirtbag dad that just runs off after he gets a woman pregnant, does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't surprise me.
But it surprises you if a woman runs off on their child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's my thought on that, right? My thought is it should be worse. It should be worse. Because, let's face it. There's something different about a mom. You got kids, right? There's something different about mom versus dad. My kids would be fine without me.
I may be the only one here, and I'm really going to set myself up to get smashed on this one. But I've already talked to my wife about this one. But maybe you guys feel the same. I don't know. Do you know that a child is normally born to look like the male because the male is more likely to become attached to it in the wild? This is a proven thing.
Yeah.
That most of the time babies look like their fathers in the beginning. If you ever notice people go, oh, I look so much like their dad, even if they're a girl. And then when they get older, they start looking like their mother.
Or who they're going to look like.
Right.
Genetically.
They claim that because men have no maternal instinct. We are not maternal.
No, that is a natural
so
thing
we're
that
drawn
occurs.
by the visual.
Well,
Just like sexually, we're drawn by the visual, whereas women are drawn by something totally different. We're totally different beings.
just dick size.
And anyways, I wasn't going down that
Dropping
path.
the hammer.
Yeah. Point is, though, did you guys, when you first saw your baby, of course you loved your baby. I loved my baby very much. But did you not grow more attached as months went on? And then you were like, I almost had like an enlightening experience at like 6 months, I'd say, where I was like, this is my baby. Like, I am so infatuated with this baby. But it didn't come the very first second. I loved her with all my heart. And I'm really stepping out on a limb here. But it's like it even grew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And of course, you grow to love them even more. But it was like this whole like light bulb popped off. And maybe that's a man thing. Maybe I'm the only one. But that's exactly how it was for me.
No, yeah, Ava with my daughter. My daughter looked like me from the bat, and we clicked right away. Different reason. We don't have to get into it too much. I mean, not a big deal. It's something she did when she was first born. They took her from her mom right away and put her on the incubator because she had some fluid that came in her throat, so they had to take her away right away. And so they put her on like the little hot plate. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. They put her on the hot plate basically. And I was like looking around for her, and I said something, and she goes like she lit up, and she did a 180 on the table until she found my voice and like grabbed my hand. It was even the doctor was like, "This is weird."
See, and like those experiences, I didn't have at first, but those experiences were later on because I'm a traveling salesperson at that time, and I was never home. So it's hard to become super attached if you never get to see him. And every time I come home, she was asleep. So you know.
And that's one of the things is like when you like if you were home during it, you know, talking, and they say like, you know, the babies can hear that in the womb and all of that stuff.
Oh, I felt like that had a lot to do with it. She was like listening for me, you know.
Yeah, like what you were talking about, like literally, like that bulb that went off was literally when I put that, you know, Skylar, you know, my daughter in my hands. Like that's when I was like, instantly at that point, if anything ever happens, this person is going to go away.
Hey,
and never come back.
So, I mean, look, I have to say it every time. Like, it's no secret. I watch the Joe Rogan show all the time. When he had Travis Barker on, do you remember that? Did you watch the Travis Barker one?
No.
You know Travis Barker from Blink-182, the drummer? So he was on, and he was talking about something very similar, how his life just completely changed. He's like, what happened? Like, he's like, well, my life changed when I had kids. And somehow or another they were talking about maybe somebody else whose life didn't change or something. And he was like, that's what I don't get. Because, like, you know, I think it was drugs and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he was a fucking drummer for Blink-182. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was awesome.
Whatever the fuck he wanted to do. Like, life was easy for him. So, but then he was saying, he's like, no, there's something fucked up with the person who doesn't change when they have kids.
I would agree.
And he was like, oh, it's kind of so crazy that you change. But no, it's like, no, like, I had a fucking kid. Like, it's weird if you don't change. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. It's like it's time for you to grow up, and now this baby, you know, is depending on you, you know.
For everything, essentially.
Everything.
I don't think I had that experience, and I think I just realized why. Like, the initial, like, you're holding them experience, you know what I'm saying? I had Landon when he first turned 3. So, my daughter did not come out until several years later.
I'm surprised they didn't even do a C-section or something, man. They just let him ride in there for 3 years.
Anyways, I met Landon when he was 3 years old because that's when me and his mother met. And anyways, I've grown to love Landon just like my own, the equivalent of my own child. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, I never had that, so to speak, first child experience because I already had a child that was 3 at the time. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I grew to love this 3-year-old child as my own. Would you stop? So when you handed me a baby, that wasn't my first experience. I guess that's how you could put it. And like for me, it was more or less when she started like, what do they call it when they're like doing the thing?
Cooing or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's what did it for me.
Yeah.
Then it became
It's adorable, isn't it?
Well, then it wasn't crying and whining and pooping. That
Yep.
was like, that's a person, you know.
Nothing.
What if you guys aren't watching this show? You need to watch this show.
I can't
There,
wait.
it is so hard to keep a train of thought with all the stuff that goes on.
I'm not gonna. There's no camera here, but look at this. Where are you at? Look at this.
There's just crap everywhere. They have brought in every snack in this entire house to put in front of the guy on keto.
Yeah, go back to Kevin. There you
Kevto
go.
update.
Boom.
I only have 6 more pounds to go till I get to eat whatever I want for a day.
And we're eating everything for him right now in front of him.
Yeah, Jeff's eating a whole bag of, what were they? Gummies
Skittles.
Sour Skittles.
and Skittles.
I ate a whole bag of them too.
By the way,
Gummy worms?
You ate that whole bag for real?
yeah.
I thought I was exaggerating.
No.
And
Yeah.
you ate a whole box of family-sized Skittles?
Not all of them yet. I mean, it's pretty sour.
I do this shit, so it's like 2 years from now, I'm probably gonna look exactly the same. And I'll be like, I don't get it, man. I've been running so much.
Why am I not as thin as the guy I see on TV?
I just ate like 1,000 calories worth of fucking candy.
Do you remember eating the 1
I
pound?
was just shot whiskey out my nose.
You know what? No, honestly, you know what I did yesterday afternoon?
Kevin, go back to Kevin again. Take another sip.
No, I'm not shooting whiskey out my nose.
No, just take a sip.
Cheers.
Boom. Look at the Skittles in there.
Freaking carbs in there. Kevto is ruined.
You just what are you doing? Oh my God, you hear that thing?
Yeah, it crushed.
Was
got
it
hard.
Was it hard? Because yeah. So yesterday afternoon, I'm like, well, I got to run. I signed up for this stupid race that's further than I've ever run before, so I got to start training. So I ran 16 miles yesterday. I ran from the house. I don't care. Anybody that's listening doesn't understand or is not from around here. I ran from this house, ran through these neighborhoods. I ran all the way down to the Max Brewer Bridge, over and back.
Yeah, he runs like 16 miles a day.
Not a day, but at a time.
All right, you
Close.
need to do an ordinary guy little episode where you're doing this jog and you have a fanny pack. Inside that fanny pack, you have multiple Whoppers and just start huffing this stuff and eating it while you're doing a 16-mile trek.
I don't know.
Smoking a cigarette, drinking a shot.
There's two
As a
things
matter
that
of
got me.
fact.
Because I run.
Doing some dip. You want some?
No, I don't dip.
Oh,
Thank
it's
you,
good.
though.
More for me.
There's
Smell it.
two
Get that out of
things.
my face.
There's two things on the run that got me. Halfway there, so about 8 miles. So I ran without even eating, and it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I knew I was gonna be hungry. And right there at the end of Garden Street with that loop where it's like KFC, Burger King, and like that 7-Eleven right there, I was like, oh my God, I want a KFC so bad. So then on the way back, I'm not even a big fan, but as I was running by Village Inn, I was like, dude, I will fuck up a pie right now. And I almost just veered in.
You should, bro, because that's food for the body. Like, that's more energy to get home.
Yeah, dude, I thought, to be honest.
Jeff talks
I
like he'd
thought
eat a
about it.
pie. You know what Jeff eats almost every single day?
What's
Pizza.
up? I fucking
Pizza.
love pizza.
He eats pizza literally.
I
Wasn't
love
it you ate
man.
pizza every meal for a week one time?
No, I did that for like almost 3 years.
Every day.
Every day.
Every
For like
day.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
Bro,
I ate pizza.
Bro, I was so poor when I lived down in Miami that on my payday, I would go to Little Caesars and I'd get like 2 of the $5 ones.
Mhm.
It's shit pizza, but
Yeah,
it was
it is.
fucking $10 for 2 pies, bro.
Right, and I'd eat them both.
No, dude, I would eat 2 slices and I would freeze the rest, bro, and I would eat that shit for lunch for like 2 weeks, man.
What is it with the Totino's pizzas that makes them so good when you're drinking? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Those square ones?
Maybe this. Oh no!
I roll them up like
You
a
talking
burrito.
about the round
They're
one?
no longer round. They're square now.
But
Yes.
Square, not rectangle.
With a crispy crust?
No, bro. You know where the real good ones are the Elios. You ever had the Elios?
Yes.
No.
There's like,
Dude, the little microwave ones, bro.
They're
The
like
things are
this?
the best.
bro, they're like little rectangles. They're the closest thing to when you were in school. That school pizza, bro, that was like a big sheet like
Let's
this.
go to a school. Well, actually, we can go to the local school here because my mom works there, and we're gonna try that pizza out on video and see what we think about it now that we're older.
Bro, I would buy them. Like, I don't.
I feel like they're just so inflated because back then we were like going through puberty. We were always hungry. Like we could have ate cardboard
No, man.
buttholes and
It's
been
little square pepperonis, man.
I can go to Sam's Club, right, and buy the whole huge thing of pepperoni pizza pockets. It's like, I don't know.
Hot Pockets.
No, not the Hot Pockets. The pizza roll. I mean, pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls.
Bro, I will eat the whole box at one time.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, I know. It's like over
How do you
300 pizza
poop?
rolls. How do you poop?
Do you poop regularly?
Bro, it's the size of the mic.
I do poop
I
mountain.
still cannot poop normally on this keto thing.
Yeah, well, your body's so screwed up.
It's full of cheese.
That's why.
That's why. You're stocked up.
Gosh, cheese, sour cream, milk,
Yeah.
Wait until you...
like dairy.
Dude,
Yeah.
you know what's going to happen to him? As soon as you're done with your little ketos thing... Sorry, I won't do it with Tyler. As soon as you're done with
That
your
was
little
actually a Frank.
ketos thing, what you're going to end up doing is you see this part right here of the mic? Literally, you're going to have an ass plug that's going to come out that big, and it's going to be mayhem behind it.
Bro, I've had those shits where I hold on to the doorknob. I'm like, I can't.
You feel like you shit in glass shards. It hurts so bad.
You don't know how. You're thinking to yourself, just relax, and you're like, all right, I get it. Now when she says to fucking stop, like I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that thing comes, that fucking relief. You don't have a fucking cannonball pushing on the inside
Which
of your
makes
asshole.
you really wonder about the girls that like that. They
Yeah.
must take some really gnarly craps.
Yeah.
One of the funniest crap scenes that are talking about that is Dane Cook on the Vicious Circle, and he's like, you feel like you're shitting glass shards, and I could just picture Holly Berry holding a Grammy going, why me? And she's trying to dump.
Who shit on the coats?
Oh man. All right. We got more.
I think we're going to have to do a follow-up on the story.
Well, no. I mean, we could wrap it up. Keep going. Finish
Okay.
up the story.
So when did I
Finish
leave?
out what you want to finish out because we're in the early stages. You don't realize how much there is.
Yeah.
He's only touched like
There's shit that I
5%.
heard that I want to hear again, and you can just tell me no, but I mean, she wasn't making much money, right?
right.
How
Yeah,
could she afford an attorney?
This is alleged. I don't know if we should talk about that on the air.
Well, I mean,
We don't have to.
slowly but surely, it. I'll just leave it up to you guys to think about what she was doing for paying a lawyer. But anyway,
That's all alleged. We're not sure. That is totally fictitious.
this is what we hear by friends and family.
And then you got
I have nothing to do with this
a
segment.
dirtbag. Then you got a dirtbag married lawyer,
Yeah,
right?
Oh, he hates that lawyer. I think if there's anybody that he hates more than her, it's the lawyer.
That's usually how it works.
it's,
Though.
I don't mind the lawyer because he like everyone that she has gotten has sucked so bad that it just made it that much easier.
Right.
Like normally when you go on a stand, the attorneys are trying to get you to get flustered and like upset and blow up and act stupid on the stand. And it was just very easy for my attorney to do that to her, and it was very easy for me to do that to her attorney.
Right.
Like, one of the things that was said constantly was, you're under oath. You're under oath. That's a constant thing that I was getting asked. You were under oath. And I'm like, I understand that. And then at one point, when we first started, he handed out like those like the school book, like bifold binders, like the
Yeah.
little 3-page, 3-hold, little clippers. Well, he gave these out, and it was like his little evidence things that we had to talk about. And normally you have to put that stuff into the court before so that everybody knows what's going on, but he didn't, and we just allowed it anyway. And he swore that they were all the same. So then he's like, can you turn to page 24, Exhibit A, And I'm like, okay. And he's like, read the text message. And I'm like, it's a receipt. It's not a text message. And
He was well prepared.
Turn to Exhibit 20. Page 24, Exhibit A. It's, now I'm showing it. It's a receipt. Page 24, Exhibit A. It's a receipt. It's not a text message. And then even the general magistrate's like, yeah, it's a receipt. I don't even have what he has on my book.
Oh, Jesus.
So me being who I am, very calmly and collective, I just kind of lean into the mic. You're under oath, and you swore that all of these books were the same this morning. And that's all I had to say. And literally, he about exploded in there. Like, slams up, gets up off the table. Started shaking. He's pissed.
And Jeff had every text message from day one, because the first thing I said to him is, you need to document everything. Here's an app. Jeff had every single text message in his email because I set his phone up.
Oh, by the way, booyah. And for all you dudes that are going through stuff like this, SMS backup.
Yeah.
Make a file on an email. Boom.
It saves
Everything
it to your
goes
Gmail.
in.
Oh, forward,
every
like
text
auto
every
forward?
text out.
Yep, you don't even have to do
Oh,
anything.
which is nice because the email now counts because it's all, they can prove that it was timestamped.
Well, not only that, like as it shows up, it literally comes every text that comes in, it shows that text, the time, who it's from, in relation to what you have that person's name on your phone, but it also has the phone number too.
Right.
So they can't say it wasn't their phone.
You can't be like you're your buddy and you named it something else.
Well,
and
that's what I was going to say. Don't name the person you're fighting with in your phone contacts. Leave it as the number. Because they could come back and say, well, they could have named whatever number and text themselves, right? So you need to make sure that it's the actual number.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You would hate to be thinking like that so far in advance, but it makes a lot of sense.
CYA.
Yeah, and the due diligence that you have to do when you're going through stuff like this, like, somebody else that I know is going through this, and I've gotten a lot of information from him, and it's like, they have gone through so much of going through the trash. Like, they'll go to the houses and take the trash.
It's fucking crazy.
To try to see, and like to use all of this stuff against you.
That's legal, by the way.
Go through your trash?
Yeah. Just as long as it's out at the street.
Yeah.
Dude, if I was ever in that situation, I would just be jerking off into condoms all day long.
What would that do for you?
They'd be just digging through my jizz.
Dude, at least do something cool like crap in it or something,
Put snacks in there.
No, but
something like 80-year-old Skittles.
I got some Skittles in there.
there's so many things that's happened. And I don't want to even get too deep because this is the early on things that are all 100% provable, not going to affect his court case in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Yeah, by the way, I'm still going through court.
Yeah.
This happened again, in 2015, February.
Jesus.
Of 2015, I'm still in court over this.
This is ridiculous. It's still the custody side of it or the legal stuff because of the
So
bank.
we finally just wrapped up the child support, which is a flippin' joke.
Guess how much he gets? He's full custodial, so like every school day, every week, he has them, right? She only gets every other weekend.
Yeah, she gets every other weekend.
Yeah, so like 20%.
Sorry.
What
if this is
would
gonna
you
annoy
think? Don't worry, Frank would do it too.
Well, I'm just trying to get the little hoop out from underneath me here.
So, what would you guess would be a good?
Basically,
it's all based on what she makes, though, right? Isn't that how it works?
well, it's based on what you make, and it's also based on overnights. So,
Oh, okay.
so like, basically how the calculator works is they take both incomes, they put them together, and then there's a formula for what
Essentially
the other
divided by
person.
days.
Well, no. There's a formula between, like, so say it was me and you that are going through this. They're going to take my salary, your salary. They add that. Then there's a calculator for the percentage of how much less or over the one person makes towards the other.
Oh, okay.
Then they have the overnight stays. That is the next calculator. Then that figures out. But essentially, no matter what the calculator says, the judge always has the final say.
Sure.
So he can pick whatever, and literally it was $37 a week.
Wow.
He can take her to McDonald's twice, and
Wow.
they can upsize that meal.
Wow.
Yeah, I spend more than $37 when I snore at night. Like, that's how crazy that is.
On strips.
You stop poofing.
In my sleep. No, seriously, it's so crazy. It is so crazy. Like,
It's
and when,
almost
when
like-
it really is all said and done, we're gonna have to have him back on so he can tell like the really gritty stuff, because I don't want him getting himself in trouble.
But basically,
But-
I mean, it sounds like they were like, I mean, got to award something. What's the fucking minimum we can do here?
And then on the other side, I have a family member who went through pretty much the same situation and was told, I don't care if you can't afford it, you better get another job or 3 more jobs. So why is that? Why is it that the guy gets totally pounded into the sand?
You want to know why? Because if you look at it, men 90% of the time make more money than women. And it's not because women aren't capable, and it has nothing to do with that. It's just throughout society, men are providers. And that's like what you were talking about with...
He's just a big sexist to all the listening.
No, but I mean, you have to think about demographics too, right? So think about everything across the board, right? So, the average divorce in which the male leaves and has to pay child support, I'm sure it is a low-income family, right? If you think about it, the one who's left behind that's now a low-income family, right? You had 2 kids, they split. The mom was either probably stay-at-home or lower income than the dad, and now that's the one and only income, right?
Unless you're Britney Spears and Kevin Federline.
Right, that's like the only example I can think of where it works the other way around, right?
The other one, Jessica Simpson and Nick.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the idea is it's like the guy, now most of the bills, now I'm sure there's income thresholds, right? So let's just say you make a ton of money, right? You make a ton of money, all the bills, everything's probably in your name, and let's say you have big expenses, right? A lot of money, a lot of expenses equals a little bit of money, and then you got to turn over and get some crazy child support, and you pay for everything anyway.
I'm okay with child support. I'm not okay with alimony. I'm not okay with alimony at all.
The thing that really gets me, though, is, all right, so I understand that, there's child support and you're supposed to pay and, it's supposed to go to the child and, things are supposed to work out that way. In my opinion, the state, right, needs to make this more strict, that if you're paying $10 a month as your child support, or me, this is how crazy this is. If it was reversed and she got custody, I had to pay $1,200 a month.
That's a lot.
For one kid. So now you take that into consideration. $1,200 a month, okay? Now, you can't spend that much money on a kid.
Oh, my wife could.
Yeah, but no
problem.
But not what he's saying. Not what he's saying, though. You have to think about it. It's supposed to be necessities.
Right, strictly for the child.
I don't know. Kids are expensive, or at least mine are.
My kids, I think, are ridiculously expensive. all I'm really forking out is about $200 to $300 a month, and just them.
I don't know. Groceries are like $1,000 a month.
Yeah, but that's for the whole family. That's, I mean, this you see, and that's how you're looking at it. You're talking, okay, the whole family. You have 4 people at home, so take the $1,000, and now you're at $250 is what you're saying that Camden eats, you know, and that's what it's based on. You know, it's strictly just for that child. Me, what I'm saying is they should turn around and make it so, okay, well, if this child support is for this child, because that money would have never went to the child. That money was going to go in her pocket for her to go out, do things.
Whatever, right? Even if it does eventually go to the child, all $1,200. It's not like she's spending $400 and putting $800 in the bank for her.
That's my point. Like, right? And that's what I'm saying. They should have it to where there's a card or something that gets used that every single receipt has to show that this money went towards this child. And then whatever is left over, that when she gets ready to go to college or she gets ready to go do this.
The alternative would be like it would have to get deposited into like a child's account. Mm-hmm. So here's the deal. Like she could spend all the money she wants out of it on herself, but later on the kid can file a complaint. So you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like the kid can, once the kid turns into an adult, could be like, I felt like my mom was mistreating or mishandling my account, and then she could basically like sue mom.
Right, because I mean essentially it's for the kid.
Yeah.
And like I brought this up as a thing. I was like, okay, well just say hypothetically that this is how much you have to pay. So why not just let the mother with whoever she's with. It doesn't, I mean, because I don't really care about that. But why don't I turn around and buy a house? That way I take all of this money and put this towards a house payment. So that way, by the time the child, whether it's, a girl, guy, whatever, it doesn't matter, gets old enough, they can turn around and be like, you know what? I'm going to take this money and I am going to sell this house because I'm going to college in Nebraska, or California. It doesn't matter. And now they have this nest egg that they can use to grow eventually, as opposed to, because the reason why I say this, I sent money to her. She turned around, said that she was going to use it towards, daycare and this and that. 3 days later, sends me a picture. Hey, guess what I spent the money on? And it's matching band shirts for her half-sister, the mother of Nirvana, Pink Floyd, The Doors. She's 2. Like, she even cares who The Doors are or Pink Floyd. Like, obviously this money did not go towards daycare or food or this.
It's tough, because that'll never happen because of the way the fucking government is. It'll never happen. But that was even one of the things that GW was trying to say. He was like, you should privatize like retirement plans and pensions, right? Or Social Security. It was one of the things too. Mm-hmm. So he said, so everybody who's paying Social Security, right? You have 2 options, right? You can pay into Social Security, or you can essentially, vouch out of Social Security, but your money goes into that same money would go into an account that you can manage, right? So now
I have control over it.
You got control over it, but you're never going to get Social Security benefits, right?
Right.
I might do that. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I would look at that and be like, okay, that's an option. I could be really, and now you're super smart with your money because now it's on you. You can't fuck it up.
Right.
Right. But again, they shoot that shit down right away because we just want to coddle everybody.
I just hate the have the cake and eat it too mentality. That is, well, I want to be, given more rights to a child. I want to make sure that I'm not drafted. I want to do this. But I don't want any of the downgrades, because if you truly want equality, you ain't asking for it. I assure you ain't asking for it.
Well, it is pretty funny though too, right? Because like you said, they draft you. They don't give a shit.
Right.
You're going.
Yeah, if women want equality, then let's draft. All right. Yeah. And let's make sure that when we go to a court hearing, so to speak, that it is always 50-50, no matter what. Let's make it even.
And essentially, the state of Florida, is a lot better for men as opposed to a lot of other states.
That's what I hear.
But it has nothing to do with morality. It has nothing to do with what I'm saying. What it has to do with is the court system is tired of trying to put up with this. Well, you're 60-40, it's 70-30, it's blah, 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 and this and this. They're trying to just make it streamlined to where you come in. If you don't have a felony, I don't have a felony, done.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's so... The fact that he's still in court 4 years later shows that there is so much insanity going on in this world and so many people getting divorced that you can't spend time with each of these people and you can't have a system like you're talking about because it's too convoluted and it's way too messed up to fix.
By the way, I was never married.
Right. This is just child's custody.
Right, just strictly for child custody.
You may as well, Ben, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, there's no a custody battle. Is really
Once you have a
different.
child, it may as well be a marriage. I mean, honestly.
Yep. Well,
it's pretty bad.
I'm speaking to everybody at this table.
this has been one deep ass episode today.
Yeah, it has.
But that's good to know. I mean, it's interesting. It's really fucking interesting how that shit happens sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
And how you get screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we can go
Jeff
another rabbit hole.
won and still got screwed.
That's what I'm saying. But then it's never in your favor. You're not you're not married. 2, you're a guy. 3, you make more money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's just not in your fucking favor. So
the worst part before we leave, the worst part is the person it affects the most is the child.
Sure.
And I'm a product of a divorced family. You're a product of a divorced family. I like to say I had the best divorced parents on the face of the planet. Mine are still friends. They were very friendly during all of it. In fact, when I got kicked out of my house, they both came together to kick me out of my house. They weren't even married. They showed up to kick me out together.
See, but that's, in a sense, that's how...
That's cool, though, now that I'm older. At the time, I'm like, what the hell is he doing here? He don't even live here.
What house did they kick you out of?
Windower.
Yeah.
What? Who were you living with?
I stole my own boat, okay? It's a whole nother story. We can do a second episode if you want. Like, there's plenty to talk about there.
All right. We need to get in on that. We need to figure that one out.
No, but, I like to say that my parents are the best divorced couple you could ever meet. And you know what? I would hope that everybody's parents are like that. As bad as it still was, it wasn't that bad. I don't know about your past, but I know that no matter what, there's going to be scars.
I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure my mom tried to kill my dad.
And we see how you turn out.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah. Yeah. That was interesting.
Like with
From what I know.
Drano, a knife,
No, I
or
think
a
it was like
hammer.
a chef's knife. Something like that.
Dude, that's gangster.
Yeah. I was young as fuck.
We
though.
might need to do another
we divorced.
episode.
No, I don't know. They got divorced. I was less than a year old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, all I know are stories.
The thing of it is, though, is regardless of how, like, I hate her beyond belief. I mean, let's just be real about it. But it shouldn't have to be as bad as it is. Even though I can't stand her,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't piss on her if she was on fire.
Yeah.
I think
But-
you're lying because it's still your daughter's mom.
No.
I still think I think in the moment you would care
Bro.
because your daughter cares.
Well, okay, so if
Would
she
you
was-
agree, Frank?
Yeah.
If that happened while we were both there, then I would feel bad. Just because
Well,
Skylar
you're on
had
a level
to
of
see that.
hatred even I haven't hit. I'm the worst
But-
person on earth.
But if it was like, hey, this happened, I'd be like,
Woo!
that's how happy I would be.
I think I would. I think I can't speak for first. I have no child with somebody that I'm not with. You know what I'm saying? So I'm speaking from something I don't know. I feel like that regardless of how much I don't like them, I would still care about them for my kid. But I'm also a little bit of a softie when it comes to stuff like that because I have a great stepdad, and it's like I know that no matter what goes on, right? With my mom and my dad, and it's not bad, but let's say it was, I know he would care enough about me not to start crap with my father. Not that that's ever even come close to
You
happening.
just said your dad and would care to not start about your dad. So you mean,
Stepdad.
oh, your
I
stepdad
got
and your
it. I
dad.
think
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
following along.
Meaning, no matter what he thinks, he cares about me more than the situation. And I would like to think I could resemble that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I really didn't want to, like, I would be a good enough person to be like, I care about him so much, I'm not going to react.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. On that note,
I would do the worm on the floor.
on that note, I care enough about our
Viewers.
fans and our 3 viewers that I don't want them to ever have to deal with this longer than they need to.
No.
So, all right, Kevin, how does everybody find us on social media?
On Facebook, I have no idea.
Well, the Ordinary Guys Show on Facebook.
Okay. On YouTube, it's www.youtube.com/C/Ordinary Guys Show. And please, for the love of God, if you haven't already, like and subscribe and comment how beautiful I look.
That's a terrible idea, but like and subscribe. Kevin doesn't know it yet, but once we hit 500 subscribers, we're throwing a party at the pub.
Boom.
Yeah. So,
Are we?
Yep.
And also go on their page and go to the Appeal and grab some cool stuff.
Oh, what he meant to say was go to
Apparel. That's it.
Oh,
our
there you go.
merch. Go to our merch.
Our merch store.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever
Right.
you want to call it.
Yeah.
And we'll put Jeff's social media stuff on there too. So if
He
you
doesn't
are
have any.
if you are a woman, if you are a woman and you do want a man hate, you can throw your hate towards him. All right, everybody, have a good night. But it doesn't work.